Okay, so now let's get into our fucking review of Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
I'm not saying, it's not like fucking Amazing Spider-Man 2 is about to get a 3. All right? Right. I think you're misunderstanding shit here.
Yeah, well, I feel like, and clearly if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, the scores were pretty... For me, that's exactly where I would have hit him. Mainly the fans. 77% for Amazing Spider-Man 1. Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out in 2014. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 52, and the fans gave it a 65. And to me, that's kind of where, I'm not going to give my score right now, but that's kind of where I felt, that they landed. That number 1 was a solid step above. Not great, but still a pretty solid movie. And then the number 2 fell way short. And I didn't have a lot of likes in this one.
Well, real quick, number 2 had a box office $709 million, PG-13.
Yep, still stuck to the PG-13, which to me the second one was a lot lighter, a little bit more lighthearted. Other than the Gwen Stacy death spoilers. Well, I guess we should have said spoilers a long time ago. We'll say it in the intro, but or we said it in the intro. For me, I'll talk about some of the positives I had. The parents' backstory I thought was a nice addition, but to talk about the amount of subplots that you felt the first one had, this one way too many. I usually don't have a problem with a lot going on. You look at Batman v Superman, there is a lot going on. There's different things that they have to set up. It depends on how it's done. This was like, it was brutal. It was brutal to make it through, but that was one thing I liked. The action scenes, I talked on that on the first one. Same thing in this one. Visually, pretty solid. Yeah. I liked it.
So my caveat for this movie, and this may be a fucking cop-out, whatever you want to call it. 1, this movie is so bad, it's funny. See, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 was just bad, and there was nothing redeeming about it for me. This one, it's so bad and so poorly done, and just so funny, and how stupid it is.
Yeah.
I have more tolerance for it. And when we first saw this, you and I and one of my friends came with us, and we watched this. And we sat out in the parking lot for 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, I do remember this.
Just talking shit about the movie.
Yeah,
and
laughing
it was
about
so funny.
Yeah.
And and I remember even when I wrote the notes down and I was watching this, I started busting up laughing. I'm like, I forgot about that part. Yeah. How great that is, because it's so bad.
Right. Yeah. I will agree with that. The funny part was, and I brought this up if we have people who have listened to our old episodes, I remember liking this a lot more, but still making fun of it. And then when I watched it again the second time, does not hold up. But I will agree with you. There's certain parts where you could just chuckle at because you're like, wow, that's
not chuckle.
That's
I had
horrible.
some deep laughs.
Yeah.
Like, this is my fucking comedy for 2015. Like, this was just great. I love the beginning. It started off with a pundit talk about Spider-Man, why he's having a saving montage. I thought that was pretty cool. Like Batman versus Superman.
Yep.
I was laughing about that. That's kind of made me laugh. I know that Batman Superman came out in 2016, but it was just something apparently everybody had on the mind. And then just the dialogue again between Stacy and Peter was so bad. This one was even worse than the first one.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think it was. I break up. I wrote this down. I break up with you, Peter. I break up with you.
Oh, that got me.
Brought tear.
Yeah. I don't think, to me, it wasn't cringeworthy.
I put award-winning dialogue.
To me, this just became a unfortunate circumstance of a shitty, over convoluted plot that if you had that by itself, I would enjoy it. But it became so much. They had to make sure that there was some stuff still going on with her, that he still loved her, so that when she died, it meant something. And it was jumping all over the place so often that none of it landed. Like, it for me, I actually enjoyed their relationship in the first one. I liked them two together as Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy. I thought they did a good job. But when you in the second one, that I kid you not, there were points where I was like tempted to fast forward, but I wanted to still continue to make notes. But I was like, "Fuck, this is."
How are you not laughing? That's what I was doing. I was just laughing through it. Then
it dragged on. A lot of it just dragged on for me.
Yeah, so. and then Peter with Aunt May and more cringeworthy dialogue. He's trying to hide under his covers because he's got the Spider-Man suit, and he just keeps saying, "I'm super naked. I'm naked," right. And she's like, "What's with your face?" Like, he's got a bunch of shit. He's like, "Oh, I was cleaning a chimney. I was cleaning the chimney." He's like, "We don't have a chimney."
Right.
Walks away.
Yeah. No big deal. He's naked, has a bunch of shit all over
Plus
his face.
he wears a mask. Why is his face dirty? Oh, wait, he doesn't wear a fucking mask. That's why. He takes it off every 3 fucking seconds.
All the time.
And then she got mad at him for doing laundry and they turned everything red and blue.
Right.
And he's like, well, it's washing the American flag. So people thought this was a good idea. And this is what I mean. Like, the dialogue is so cringeworthy in the other one. This one just made me laugh because of how bad it was. Like, somebody improved that shit.
Right. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Somebody improved that shit. And like, you know what? That's what we need in this movie. He's washing the American flag. And like, this just like, oh my God, that shit's just so fucking funny. And then there's part where people are talking about, they have another moment about Peter giving hope to this is kind of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That was missing from the first one. They kind of had it in this one where people are talking about hope and all this other things. He gives people something to cheer for and shit like that. I'm like, these writers watch Man of Steel a little too much.
Yep.
Because it was like ripped right out of that
right,
shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. I actually felt, I liked Harry Osborn, and I felt that the friendship storyline should have been more. Well, actually, really any storyline.
Yeah, I was about to say,
you just pluck one out and focus on that, and it probably would have been a lot better.
Right.
But I enjoyed kind of the interaction between them, which you do get a lot of that in the Sam Raimi ones that's done pretty well. It's it's built up as far as friendship with Harry Osborn.
Went 3 movies.
Fights. Yeah. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I wanted more of a focus on that.
One of the things we pointed out so much, and we were laughing about so much in the parking lot that night, was the barricades.
Yes.
And
I laughed so hard at that. I'm like, fuck, it's just as bad.
And I was like, when Electro first appears in Times Square there, and this is what I typed, classic. The barricades just pop up out of nowhere. The people are standing as the guy with electricity is blowing things up. They cheer on Spider-Man. Just fucking classic.
Right.
Is what I wrote. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
Run, you dumb fucks.
Right.
Run.
Well, one of the things that I actually liked in that I thought was a little bit different. I don't know if it's ever been used since or before. Well, no, the fucking music was horrible.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to say like the music going with him, like his voices or some shit.
The like dubstep type thing, or whatever. The electronic. No, I didn't like that. I liked it the first time around. I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool addition. This time it kind of bugged me. But the paused scene, how it like everything paused together and then it kind of like the camera panned through. It was the same spot.
360. It's like Google 360.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Google Earth basically. It's panning through all the kind of looking at what he is seeing basically, and like, okay, he's seeing the people reaching for the
rails.
The rails that are about to get electrocuted and stuff, and he's kind of dissecting this entire thing and
again,
trying to
I
figure
think
it out.
Darwinism let it go. These people see this guy's made of electricity and they're gonna touch metal.
Right.
Just let it go, Spidey. And the other problem I had with that one is that they're saying Spider-Man's faster than light. Electricity.
Yeah, no
It's
kidding.
really fast.
Right. I didn't remember hating Electro the first time around. I thought he was kind of cheesy. This one, I hated him.
Oh, I loved him.
Well, for
the cheesiness.
Okay,
he had one-liners.
Right.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Time to light my candles. I was just like, yes.
He's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Mr.
I wrote.
Freeze.
That's what I wrote. Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so horrible. And then the fact that he pops up on all the screens, and then he gets all butthurt because now Spider-Man's popping up on all the screens, taking away his light or his all his
fame.
glory. Yeah, like fuck off, dude. I like Jamie Foxx, but man, he did the best with what he could, I guess.
Oh.
But I didn't like him at all. Didn't like any part of him. I don't know why he had to be in this. Honestly, I think it was just as an additional villain. Have a second villain. Third, I guess, technically, if you fucking count Rhino. It was a complete waste.
Fourth, really.
Who was the fourth?
I don't know. They had that one guy in the hat.
Oh, yeah.
He was just being
who the fuck
nefarious.
was that? Yeah.
I remember I did a bunch of research when this movie first came out, and I saw that, and I was trying to figure out who he was. And I forgot who he was. I don't care enough to research it again.
I know he set up some Easter eggs because it shows.
Yeah, he basically setting up the Sinister Six.
Right. Yeah,
that's what
we didn't fucking get.
Yeah,
because this movie series
I don't know, Civil War
totally
was kind of like Sinister Six. Anyway,
Civil Dispute.
I put the product placement might rival Man of Steel's product placement in this one. Like there was like a Whole Foods in the background, tons of Sony shit.
Yep, Starbucks
was the other one. I mean, I was like, this one is just
fucking Sony in their own movie. They're like, yeah, let's just whore ourselves out. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Harry, when he turned into a goblin, like literally fucking started turning into the Hobgoblin, or he's the Hobgoblin. No,
No, Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, yeah. He's like getting all deformed and shit.
Yeah, it looked like he had a bad gel day.
Right, it was weird. And then when he's crawling to the suit, he's really struggling. Like, you think he's gonna die right there on the floor, and then a second later, boom, he's in the suit. Shit starts connecting to him.
I was too busy laughing.
Boop, 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 recharge, yeah.
I was too busy laughing. It's like injuries, healing.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yep, pretty much.
Awesome. You should have just stayed in that suit the whole fucking time.
Some of the comedy, I actually the campiness. I did enjoy the part where he shoots Electro and with the fire truck hose. Yeah, and he's wearing the hat.
Yeah, and
he's like, all right, good job.
Twirls it like a gun and like slings it into a holster.
Yeah, see, that Spider-Man stuff is sweet.
Yeah, there's some parts in this, but then I was laughing because when Harry Osborn's asking for the injection of the venom into his arm, the guy injects the venom into the arm that he's holding the gun with.
Oh yeah, right.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Good choice. Did
you notice that Felicity Jones was Felicia?
Yeah.
Yeah, she should have gone all Rogue One.
And Felicia was supposed to be lined up for eventually a Black Cat thing, because Felicia Hardy is
gotcha.
Black Cat. So I think they were trying to plan that too. That's another subplot right there.
Yeah. She was a lot hotter in this than in Rogue One.
Dude, she had some tickle bitties.
Yeah, I was whoa.
They had some pushing.
Yeah,
one of the two.
Well, she was pretty covered up in Rogue One, so that's why I was like, damn, all right.
Yeah, they totally missed out on that.
Yeah,
she's dead
Felicity
now.
Jones.
Spoilers.
Wow.
And another thing, I feel like Sony watched the Twilight movies and said, yes, that's where we need to go with Peter and Stacy. And like, I've never even seen the Twilight movies, so I can't. But I just feel like
that's pretty solid comparison. I think I've seen the first one. That's the only one that I've seen.
Yeah, it's like a creepy romance with a creepy boyfriend and shit like that.
Oh well, speaking of creepy, Max, to me, the guy who eventually becomes Electro, is the definition of a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Talking to Spider-Man by himself.
Yeah.
Getting pissed off. Yeah. Like, I'm like, okay, I have no sympathy for this guy, and I have no problems believing that he's a prick, and and then turns evil. Like, why was he was supposed to be an upstanding hard worker at some point? Didn't seem like it.
It was his ideas that got stolen by Oscorp, the plans for the grid, and then
they
for
got
some
stolen
reason
by Bob Kane. I mean, by Oscorp.
and then he just falls into an open vat of eels, because
right.
that happens at work.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was like, wow, okay, that's fucking...
I mean, just the usual 9 to 5 work issues. This is what I mean. It's so bad.
0 days without an accident on the work site.
It's like the Man of Steel.
Right.
And then one part I got so excited about when the power goes down, and I forgot about the planes. The stupid planes. This is why this movie is so fucking great and bad.
They turn to the side, and everyone's like, ah!
And the planes are like, so those planes... The whole what is that, the tower that would give them navigation and shit like that, it goes down, and if you remember, it's like, oh, but somehow they have just enough power for their radar to see the two planes are about to collide. Like, what's the estimated time? 4 minutes. Clock it.
Right. Yeah.
Remember that part?
Yeah,
oh my god, that was so fucking funny.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That was so funny. I'm like, again, someone improved that.
Right.
They're like, that's gonna be funny. Somehow this electrical disturbance is affecting planes that are up 30,000 feet in the air.
No, they couldn't see. They couldn't see where they were supposed to land.
Their instruments. Remember, their instruments were flickering. They're like, oh, we don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, electro is affecting planes 30,000 feet up in the air. And
well, there's some inconsistent shit with him. He was flying at some point, not
floating.
Yeah, but not in the New York scene. He's pretty fucking high up there. Well, yeah, okay, I guess floating pretty fucking high. Yeah. But he's not using. There are certain parts where he's pushing the electricity to get him to fly. But I was like, why? No, actually, and he flies in the yard area that I keep fucking forgetting what it's called with all the electrical
power
stuff.
Grid?
Power grid. Fuck. He's flying in that. When he's fighting...
I call it
fighting Spider-Man.
Oh, I guess he does diving through, chasing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But he's dematerializing and kind of shooting himself as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And Spidey's swinging faster than light.
Yeah, right.
That whole thing.
He's also Flash.
Fucking Peter Parker's fuck you, Einstein. And I put, how can anybody watch this and think this is a good idea? It's just... Oh... Oh, okay. I remember what this point was. When the people, the traffic control start cheering and stuff because the planes just miss each other.
They
They're
turn
like,
sideways.
Yeah! They're cheering. I'm like, oh my god, how did anybody think that was a good idea? Like that, like how are people supposed to be like inspired by that in any manner? Like, I was just laughing so hard. They can't even have a final battle without a subplot. Like it was so bad. It was so bad. I was also laughing. How many times can he rearrange his room? Get pushing shit around, throwing shit around, like, taping this.
Right.
Because the best way to hang a picture is with tape around the rim and shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, then we get... So, I mean, do you have anything more?
No, that was pretty much it.
Oh, cops can't shoot Rhino in the head when the boss exposes his head. One of those points. Just like his head.
Oh, that's normal.
Yeah. Never played a video game, I guess.
Right.
And again, the barricades pop up. Everybody's around.
Yep.
It's
perfect.
fantastic.
Cheering it on.
Just Rhino shooting fucking, who knows, minigun rounds out of his arms.
Little kids.
Yeah.
Possibly. Just like Spider-Man.
I put, what's the point of the kid? What's the point of the kid? It's supposed to sell merchandise.
Yeah. Give hope.
To make kids think they could be Spider-Man. So fucking stupid. Barricade companies making a killing on Spider-Man. The very final scene, the last seconds of the movie were in the trailer. Fantastic.
Yeah.
They closed their trailer with the closing of the movie.
Yeah.
It's a garbage fire that's so awesome to watch in some manner. Like, you could just sit back and roast the fuck out of this movie. The first one you can't. It's just poor dialogue, poor setup, and I just thought it was so stupid. Like, there's just nothing to really make fun of in that one. Like, there is this one. Like, this is just so bad. This is Batman and Robin levels.
Yes. I'll agree with that.
Joy.
And it sucks because it takes itself so seriously too.
I never thought it took itself seriously.
Oh,
I guess personally because I can't take it seriously.
Right? Yeah, I think it was trying. It was really trying.
Oh, that's hard. Especially that plane part with the stopwatches.
Right? Yeah.
4 minutes.
But with like the Gwen Stacy death and the stuff with his parents. And they're trying to take itself seriously, and it became so much. I was really winded, and I think that's why I could make fun of it. I noticed all the plot holes that were in this as well. Both movies had a shit ton of plot conveniences shit that just was happening. Like, oh, okay, that's nice. Like the double circle thing in the first one that kind of helps move the story along. You never really figure out. I guess it's the room with the spiders. Or some shit. But yeah, there's a lot of plot conveniences. But this one, I had a hard time enjoying the humor, the campiness, the shit that you're talking about, because it just drug on so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, there's just
way too
much going
identical
on.
Time in movies.
Yeah.
One's like 2 hours and 16 minutes, and the other one's 2 hours and 20-something minutes.
Right.
It's not much difference in time. So.
Yeah, but the second one,
first one
you
drug
feel
on
it
for me.
Wow.
It just was so bad.
Really
the second one, I blazed right through. I was just laughing
at everything.
I was just laughing. I remember I was just so stoked when like the barricade thing came up, when the stopwatch thing came out, and I was just so fucking funny. It was great. It made me laugh so much because it's so terrible. So let's give our scores.
Okay, this one I tried to find about half of what I enjoy, because that's I feel like a solid thing. Most movies, like I said before, I can find some enjoyable stuff. Wasn't quite half. I gave it a 2.2 out of 5 marks.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 2 marks out of 5.
All right.
So I mean, it's
better than the first one. It's crazy.
Way better.
Crazy.
Is it a better movie than the first one? Yes. But it just, the campiness and the shit that happened in it is just so ridiculous and off a scale that's just, it makes it so fucking funny. And this, my experience when we walked out of the theater, we stood outside in an empty theater.
Yeah, those were good memories.
For 30 to 45 minutes roasting the shit out of this movie. And so
it all came back. Yeah. All came back. I was like, oh my God.
As you're watching it, you're just remembering it all. You're like, oh, that's so fuck. You're laughing. I know you're probably supposed to take this movie serious, but I think for the most part, I was laughing.
Right.
So it was my favorite comedy of 2015.
All right. Sounds good.
Maybe. I don't know. I think Where the Millers came out then too. But
yeah, actually this was 2014.
Was it 2014? Yeah, thank you for correcting me now by the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I just realized it because
it was 2 years apart.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure the next one was supposed to be 2016.
Yeah.
And I want to say there was a reference. I don't know if you caught it, but there was something that Gwen Stacy said where she gives Peter Parker her address, and she says 2016. It's 2016. I don't know why I didn't write that down. Remember that, 2016. And or no, 2016. She kept saying 2016 is the apartment number or whatever, the suite number of where she lives, and she said it like 4 times. So I was like, holy shit, like they are really. And then I looked at how it all lined up. Okay, 2016 is probably going to be the next movie, or would have been. So I wonder if they were trying to set that up for something, or maybe I'm just way looking into that a little too much. But she said it quite a few times. I'm like, okay. 2016, and then we didn't get shit. So we got a hard reboot and a contract between Sony and Marvel. It was like, hey, you want to take Spider-Man, make us some money?
Turn him into a CGI.
Yeah, CGI fest.
Yeah. All right, so that concludes our reviews of the Amazing Spider-Mans. They truly are.
Yes, hope you enjoyed it. Matt and I actually on different sides. Usually we're somewhat in line for the most part, but this one we're a little bit different.
Yeah, I enjoy the campiness of the second one. The first one took itself way too serious and just had the most ridiculous, stupid moments ever.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I'm actually looking forward to the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man trilogy. Because because I'm curious at your feedback on it, because I remember them being back into the early 2000s very campy and a little too campy for me then. And now I'm like, this is going to be interesting watching them all over again. So we'll see.
Yeah. I remember what I liked and disliked about them. So I remember how I felt about them.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens if it still holds up or not. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. We're almost at 40 subscribers.
Yes.
What a boom.
Slowly ticking.
Boom. Man, you wouldn't believe it.
Yes.
We're getting interaction on YouTube, kind of, a little bit.
Some comments. Hey, that's interaction for us.
It's more than ever.
Take it. Yep.
It's more than we ever gotten before.
When I can't keep up, I'm pretty sure there's still a comment I have to reply to. Yeah. When I can't keep up with the replies, that's when you know that it's just a boom. Can't keep up with the 3 replies.
Yeah, I was about to say. Check out our content there. If you need a more convenient factor to our content, that helps you out, get you that first starting, hearing of us, I guess. I was about to say look, but you're not looking at shit other than a single picture.
Yeah, a solid picture. Well, we have one coming out that I'm putting a little bit more work into. It's taking fucking forever.
Adobe Premiere ends in 5 days, kids.
Yeah, the trial. Or actually, it wasn't a trial. I fucking canceled that shit. Fuck you, Adobe.
And so make sure you check out our podcast at Comic Movie Marks on iTunes. iTunes, kids.
Yes.
I see you out there. And then in the Google Play Store, like on Podcast Republic, any podcast app plays Comic Movie Mark podcasts.
Yes, and be sure to leave us a review on iTunes.
It'll sign you up for our giveaway.
Yes. Yep,
that's all we're going to say on that.
Yeah, because we're going back on it. But we have a giveaway. Check on Instagram. We have
giveaway. Dead giveaway.
So yeah, and also be sure to follow us on Instagram. Facebook is actually starting to get a little bit more interaction. Shit's getting blocked on there too, and now fucking shit's getting blocked on Instagram. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
What world are we living in? You can't even spread the content that people are creating.
Yeah.
So all we're trying to do is spread diseases.
It's my goal in life.
Yeah.
Blow dirty loads. All right. Anyway.
And as we mentioned earlier, we're also on Twitter. We get a couple likes. Mark T Noblemania also reached out to us on there, so that's pretty solid. So you can follow us on there as well.
In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, web slingers.
Is that a sexual joke?